Howdy folks, Ryan Gorman here from Coldwell Banker NRT, and I'm joined by my friend Gavin Swartzman from Peerage Realty Partners up in Canada, but we're here in Las Vegas at Inman Connect today. So Gavin, I want you to introduce yourself a little bit, but first I want to just brag a little bit for you. So, tons of success in the Canadian market, right? But you've had your eye on the American market for a little while. So maybe you could give a little bit of your background, and then we'll get into why you find the American market so interesting right now.
Sure. Thanks for having me, by the way. I come from a marketing background. Been in the real estate for 5 years right now. Up in Canada, we have 5 different companies. Well, until about a month ago, independent. Now are very proud to be the master franchisee for Sotheby's Canada. And we sell about $13 billion worth of real estate across all of our partner firms. And we have been looking at the U.S. market for about 5 years now. When we first started looking, my view was, this is the greatest place ever. The commission rates are higher, the splits are higher.
Spoiler alert, it's still the greatest place ever.
Canada had really kind of gone through a bit of transition on that front, so we're quite used to running in a much leaner structure.
Sure.
I will say in the last 5 years, you guys have done a great job of bringing that a lot closer to where Canada is, but we still see
now listen to how he said
opportunity.
That. We've done a great job of bringing, in other words, we've gotten leaner. Now we've had to. The business has gotten tougher, more intense, right? So only the strong survive, and we've all had to get leaner and meaner. And interestingly, that means that the American market is looking more like the market you know well, and we've had a lot of success.
Exactly. And so we've been very successful in the Canadian market. And I think also what has happened is it's created a great opportunity for us to have conversations with the best broker owners in the industry down here, whereas 5 years ago, maybe we wouldn't have had that opportunity. So for us, we see it as just a wonderful opportunity to enter a market and focus just on the best of the best.
Now, I've seen you at a couple of Inman Connect conferences, but you had a unique perspective on a lot of what you're hearing here. So as we've been talking about a little bit today, and hopefully catch some of the other interviews we've been doing, disruption is definitely on everyone's minds. That's always the case for conferences like this. There's always a headline of sort of what's going to change the world, and rarely does it. Once in a while it does, but there's certainly a fair number of people today who are talking about disruption. But you made a good point about how a lot of the folks who are the would-be disruptors are sort of maybe telling kind of 2 different stories.
Yeah. So if you've been on stage listening to the presentations, some of the best minds in the industry have created incredibly powerful, quote-unquote, disruptive companies. The last question that's always asked at the end is, so where do you see the agent in the mix here 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And the answer is always the same. Trusted advisor, need to still guide the customer through this complicated experience. Truth be told, I'm not sure that it's as authentic as it may be made out from the stage, but where we come from is we really passionately believe that is the case. This is a largest transaction for virtually anyone buying or selling real estate. It's a stressful transaction. Sure, there's efficiencies to be done around the margins to make it a more seamless experience.
Sure.
But that role of the advisor, we truly believe isn't going away. So the question then is, where do these great advisors need to live? Now, what kind of brokerage firms can they be with?
What will be associated with their success then in the future?
And so I think if you really believe that, then I think your model would reflect that kind of culture and that kind of approach. And that's really where we believe that we create a wonderful partnership opportunity, not only with the broker owners, but also with their agents. And we provide them with the resources to compete in what's a very difficult environment right now. But I really believe that it's that long-term trusted advisor role that it's harder and harder for those kinds of agents to have a great place to live and practice their craft and be able to do what they need to do.
So you're investing then in the technology, the training support to make sure that those agents will be successful. It's an interesting point here that many folks from stage will talk about a relatively disruptive model, and they'll tack on to the end there, but we know and love agents, and we think it's all great. And
For now.
The point that Gavin's making is actions speak louder than words, and it sounds like what you and your organization are doing are taking the action to invest really heavily in agents themselves and their personal success, leveraging a lot of the tools that are coming about through disruption, but to really remain in the forefront and the center of all of this.
Absolutely. We think if you truly believe in that, it would be reflected in the number of agents you hire, your selection criteria, the compensation models that you have. It's fair to everybody, where you can still provide the resources. And maybe there's few and fewer of those owners that are out there, but that's what gives us the great opportunity to partner with them, because lots of these owners have lots of great ideas and lots of time they want to still spend in the industry, but if they have a partner that can help them with that, that's really what they're looking for, where we can help the most.
That's a really good point. So for all of you agents out there who are thinking about your partnership and with whom you're partnered, whether it's other agents in the office, your manager, your support team, your broker, your brand, that's really what it comes down to. Look really closely at the actions that people are taking, not just the words that they're speaking. And so I thought that was really insightful. That's what you picked up on from the conference. So anything else that's hot on your mind for the conference today, or what you're hoping to get out of it this afternoon?
Well, I enjoy hearing the industry titans live on stage. For me, it's the people you get to meet. I've reconnected with a lot of the folks in Realogy and my own partners here.
Sure.
And so looking forward to the balance of the conference.
And you're looking to connect with folks a lot more here in the U.S. market as well, right? So if you have brokers in the U.S. market and you'd like to get in touch with Gavin to learn a little bit more about what they're doing, maybe learn from them, perhaps collaborate on something, feel free to reach out to Gavin and the Peerage gang. And Gavin, thank you so much for investing some time with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
See you, folks.
Bye-bye.